Good evening, all of you Minties, and welcome back to another edition of Old Reader, New Reader with myself, the amazing Amanda, and the Uncanny Omar. Say hi, Omar.
Yes, ma'am. Hi. How's
Hi.
everybody doing? Welcome to this last day of June, going into
Yes.
July tomorrow. So, last day of June, 30th. Today we're going to be talking about what comic book, Amanda?
The Old Guard, written
Old.
by Greg Rucka, or just
Mm-hmm.
Old Guard, sorry. Or no, it is the Old Guard. Yeah,
No,
I
it is
was
the
right.
old one.
Look at that. Written by Greg Rucka. Is it Leandro Fernandez did the artwork on it as
Leandro
well?
Fernandez. Yeah, he did the
Yes.
artwork.
So this is volume one. We just did volume one because I believe volume two does not come out yet.
It was supposed to come
Um,
out at the end of June, but then it got delayed
it
until
did.
September, I think, is when
Yes,
the next date's going to be. So, what's up,
exactly.
Freddie?
Hey, Freddie.
Leo?
I think
Phil
Hugo's here from
Owens?
Portugal.
Mm. Yeah, my boy Hugo's here all the way from Portugal. 1 o'clock in the morning. Thank you.
Mm, good morning.
Last day of the Maddie month. No.
No,
Next month is
next
Maddie
month is
month.
Maddie's month,
This
and
month
Maddie could not
is
be here
just June.
tonight, so we're gonna have to carry on without her.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Hayden.
hey. How
Yeah.
are
So
you?
I'll announce all the titles that she's got planned for
Got a
July.
couple of them here. Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys can see what we're reading for next week.
So we will share that with y'all. Can't wait to hear about this book I know nothing about. Awesome, Tim. You're in the right
Nice,
place.
Tim. Great.
I'm from the future. Spoilers, July 1st. That's right. You're 1 o'clock in the morning in July.
I
So
know. Did you say rabbit, rabbit, rabbit? I hear you're supposed to say when you wake up first thing on the first day of the month.
in
It
Portugal,
brings you good luck. No, in general, I don't know. In
in
America?
general. Okay. In America, I've never heard that. Is Old Guard a memoir of Omar's time as a lifeguard?
Yes, yes, it is.
I would
How
not
did you
make a good.
know?
I would not make a good lifeguard. Are you going to do the movie review on Old Guard? Probably. When does that movie come out, Amanda?
It comes out July 11th, I believe. Let me check my notes because I wrote a bunch of notes. July 10th, I'm sorry. July 10th. It's close to my mom's birthday. That's why I was trying to
Oh,
remember
look
it.
who it is. It's White
Hi,
Cat
Tina.
Cosplay, a.k.a. TikTok Tina, a.k.a. I don't even... a.k.a. my friend Tina. Hey, Tina. How are you? Saw your wife. You avoided us, but that's okay. Rabbit, rabbit,
I
rabbit.
got
Is
to
that
see
right?
Tina's wife yesterday, or I didn't see her, but I talked to her yesterday. She jumped on me and my husband's Discord chat.
Oh, good.
I kind of
What?
confused some people. So did Manuel. So we had some guests in our Discord chat yesterday.
So 1 a.m. here in South Wales too. First day of Maddie Month. I like that we're renaming July Maddie Month.
Yes,
She would be really happy to hear
she
all
would
that.
be.
So Scotty G is saying that's true. Rabbit,
Got the
rabbit,
rabbit, rabbit.
rabbit is something that yep. Oh, that's what my boy Chanda Suk calls you. Professional ass Tina. That's right. Yo, I didn't avoid you guys. I had to run to work. Yo,
You
not
okay?
that type of chat. Don't worry about it. I'm
It's
just kidding,
okay.
Tina. What's up, Lionheart? G Mauled? Yes, professional ass Tina. Pat. I don't think she wants to be called Pat. I don't think
No
anybody
one
wants to
wants to
be
be
called.
called Pat.
Yeah, sorry, no rabbit expression used in Portugal, but hey, we can make it happen.
Hugo, be
Not
the
here
trendsetter. Be the
in Kentucky.
trendsetter and
Not
make
here
it
in
going.
Kentucky either. I don't know what the hell
No,
she's talking about.
it's somewhere. Maybe up north because I'm from Pennsylvania originally. I don't know.
Yeah, you keep just throwing that in there. All right.
I
Let's
do.
talk
Yes.
about Greg Rucka's Old Guard. This is my second time reading this. The book was on hiatus for a long time with the possibility of Old Guard coming back.
Mhm.
So it did eventually come back. That's right, Bruce. The volume 2 got postponed all the
Yes.
way until September. So we're
I'm
gonna
sure they wanted it to come out when
just
Old Guard came out, but the
yeah, I
movie,
think and that was the original idea, but
I
because of
think
the
so.
printers, the pandemic, and everything going on, yes. Omar, how did your daughter react to Karate Kid? Which parts did you watch? We watched all three,
You talking about
and
the Jaden Smith
she
one?
loved. God, Amanda, you know damn well I don't watch that
I
crap with
know.
my kid. I'm talking about the original Karate Kid with the amazing soundtrack, Daniel LaRusso. It gets no better than that until you watch Cobra Kai. We're gonna do a Cobra Kai season 3 review on this channel. Yeah, we
Just
are in
him.
Kentucky. Both Amanda, I, Maddie, Tina, we are all in Kentucky. Yes. By the way, my kid loves it. So Cobra Kai, never die. All right, Amanda, Greg Ruckus, Old
Yeah.
Guard. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Old guard.
Oh no.
Yeah, interesting story that unfolds in this, small trade, right? There's not a ton of
Right.
issues in it. How many are there, Omar?
There's 5 issues in this one.
Okay, thank you. I was like, I thought you just said right. I was like, yes. So
5
the
issues.
story is essentially about, yes, 5 issues. It's
Mhm.
essentially about um a group of 4 mercenaries who have a little secret. They seemingly cannot die. Although we learn, and by the way, guys, spoilers. So
Oh yeah,
we will
spoilers
talk
just in
about
case.
this, yeah. And so and especially if you're waiting to like read it after you watch the Netflix movie, which I don't know if anyone does that, but if they did, you'll probably spoil the movie for you too, because the director Gina Prince Blythewood said they're being very faithful to this. So
Okay,
just a
interesting.
heads up there. Yeah. So seemingly they cannot die, these immortal mercenary warriors. They all come or all originated from different eras in time. Two of the people, I think it's Yusuf and Nicola or Nikki, actually fought in the Crusades against each other. And then Andy is our main protagonist, and she kind of is in charge of this band of um, interesting characters. And you also have Booker, who's kind of like in the kind of the little like techie weird dude kind of there, and you kind of find out some stuff
Mhm.
going on with him. And
Okay.
so they live throughout their lives, kind of the way they live their lives is they go through and fight, never staying in one spot too long, obviously, because they can't die. And so as people around them start to get older and realize they can't get older, they tell different stories throughout this about how that's happened to them. They have to move on. And so they take these mercenary
It's
jobs.
not Highlander, Tina. There can be more than one. Although Highlander had an amazing soundtrack.
Yes. And yes, Canadian Invincible Comics. I was getting to that. Seemingly immortal, like I said, but in fact, they can die just at the time in which they're supposed to die, which they don't
Yeah,
really know when that's going to be.
it's a little vague in the first volume. I
A
think they
little
get
vague in the first volume. We don't know a lot about that backstory quite yet. So by the end
she
of this book, you're left with more questions than answers, if that helps.
she had explained that they had previous
Companions.
companions that had
Mhm.
passed away, like that were hundreds of years old, and something happened to them that they got killed. So, um,
Yes.
better than Highlander 3, but not the Quickening,
Yes.
right?
And
Quickening was
then
awesome.
Bruce, don't age but can be killed. So they could be attacked very poor. Like one of the characters, Booker, for example, if I could find it, gets like blown up in the head,
His
but he
brain gets blown out.
survives and is basically comes back together. So they can die. It's just maybe not their time to die. So that's the kind of the little secret they have beyond being immortal. Hold on, honey. And sorry, my daughter started crying in the background. She just woke up from a nap. And so what you have is they also have this weird thing where they find others like them through these series of random memory flashes
Like a
that'll just suddenly
dream
happen.
sequence that
Dream
happens.
sequence.
Hmm.
And it's not like it's a very telling. They have to kind of piece it together using their knowledge of what they've seen amongst what they're, what they can look up to figure it out. And so there's another character named Nile, and she is a Marine who's been killed in Afghanistan. I think her throat was slit, but she's alive. And they get a vision of her. And so after they figure out where she is, Andy goes to retrieve her. In the meantime,
I'm gonna share the screen to
go ahead.
show you all just a little bit of the artwork that we're looking at here. Um, let's see
Whoa.
if there we go.
There
Doesn't
we
help.
go.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. The artwork is, but like Amanda said, by Leonardo Fernandez, who has a very similar style to Eduardo Risso. Very black and white, lots of
Hmm.
use of contrast.
And he
Uh,
did Queen and Country, the
some of the
artist,
stuff,
right?
yeah, with
Yeah.
Greg Rucka. Hmm.
Hmm.
So I'll stop sharing that
No, you're
because
fine. And so basically what happens is, so while Andy is going off to find Niall, the other three, they basically
Clark
have worked
NATO.
with other people in the past, and
Uh huh.
unfortunately, like I mentioned before, they don't like to work with the same person twice because then they might start to find out their secret. And when people find out their secret, they might want to figure out how, right? They could also become immortal if that's the case, because they don't know their whole secret that they could die. They just know that they can't die. And so Copley is the name of the gentleman they worked with in the past who wants to hire them again.
He is no
And
gentleman.
no gentleman, but he is a guy with money who
He is a dude.
offers it. He's a guy.
Hayden, as a Scottish person, I can confirm that real
Real
Highlanders
Highlander.
aren't immortal. All right, Hayden, I will take your word for it.
Yes. And so
Peace
they
to the stream. I just showed 2 pictures. Let him
yeah,
come at us.
it wasn't that long. It wasn't that long.
Right, Tina? Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert, The Quickening. Awesome movie. 1 and 2. I don't know about 3. I can't even remember the plot of 3. Which one had
Yeah.
Duncan MacLeod? Duncan shows up in 3, right? Anyway, go ahead, Amanda. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. And so basically, they're working again on a mission for Copley, even though Andy wasn't really keen on it, but I guess Booker, they had talked her into it. And so while she's off, their hideout gets attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And when she comes back with Niall, they find Nikki and Joe gone, and Booker's head is completely blown apart. And so she thinks he's dead, but then he comes back to life because he's not dead yet. And so they know it's Copley. They know he must be behind it. And so the mission is to try to recover Joe and Nikki. And obviously they were taken for a reason, to lure everyone else to where they are. And they were taken by Copley and given to a man named Merrick. I guess that's who Copley really works with, because Merrick wants to figure out the secret to their immortality. Now, in the meantime, there's some really wonderful dialogue between a lot of the characters. Obviously, Niall is very new to this whole "I'm immortal" thing, because this is the first time she ever died and came back to life, was when she got her throat slit in Afghanistan. So while her and Andy and Booker are kind of on their journey to find Joe and Nikki, there's a lot of conversations about, what does this mean, this life that you're going to live? Like, what does it mean to basically, not be with your family anymore and have to leave your family behind? And Booker has a very sad story
Yeah, I
of
like that.
how eventually his entire family, they wanted to figure out how they too could be immortal. And then they ended up hating him by the end. Like, even his last remaining son hated him because he wouldn't share his secret to immortality, which I don't even think they really even know.
Well, no, they don't know. And
Yeah.
his son was dying of cancer. He was an old man. There's a lot of, honestly, there's a lot of good and beautiful dialogue in this book.
And
that I
one beautiful
enjoyed.
piece of dialogue is going to be in the movie, because I read an article and they quoted it when they were in the movie review. So they are going to have this one beautiful dialogue, and that's between the captors and I believe it's Joe when they hurt Nikki and they make a joke, "Is this man your boyfriend?" And he goes, oh God, what was he
He's my
said?
moon and stars when I'm lost
He's
at
my
night.
moon. He's the warmth, and his
It's
kiss
good.
still thrills me after a millennium. I was like, man, I hope that my husband says that about me one day.
That's yeah, you might. That was a really beautiful way, poetic way to describe your significant other. If you think about the lifestyle of an immortal, right?
Yeah.
You don't think oh, you got to get bored. Like the main character, the lead character talks about, up until we get to chapter 5, talks about, all the things that she's done. She doesn't fall in love with people. She uses people for sex. She realizes that she doesn't even want to learn their name, because what's the point? Because, 100 years is very little to them. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But the way that they described each other, he's my everything. He's the stars at night when I'm lost. I was like, man, that is so pretty to be that in love with somebody for so long. When you think about immortals that probably shouldn't care, right? But I guess because they found each other. And what's interesting about that is that they started off fighting and trying to kill each other. That's how they figured. That's how they figured out they were immortal, because they were trying to kill each other, and each other would not die. They kept getting up and trying to kill each other.
Oh, it was a really great.
Eventually, that led to making out, because hey, why not, right?
Yeah.
And now they're together. I thought that was really cool.
I agree. It was wonderful. And so you have some really great moments during this whole process.
Freddie knows me way too damn well. I'm gonna be writing those those little things down and
I
start
wrote some of
writing
it
my
down.
start stealing some of my for my speech. That's right.
Michael, to be in love with someone for the weekend. Yes, like they've been in love for how many years? Thousands of years. So that's
Hundreds,
quite a
hundreds at least.
hundreds at least. Well, the
Right?
Crusades. The Crusades were okay. They were
Hundreds.
80. They were 80,
Yeah,
hundreds of years. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, hundreds.
Yeah. Sure.
We
Okay.
ain't, maybe 1,000. But anyway,
Yeah. So in this whole escapade, you find out that Booker actually is a traitor, and he revealed their secret to Copley. Basically, why? Because he's hoping that they'll find out why they're immortal and figure out how they can die, because I think Booker is tired of being alive. And you can kind
right,
of tell his story. He talked about, his family and the very, tragic experience that he's had, losing the people he loved because trying to connect with them, right? And so I think he's ready to move on. And the others are like, how could you betray us? Especially because, they try everything on Nikki and Joe to figure out what is wrong or what makes them immortal, right? Taking their blood, doing whatever the case may be. Merrick's threatening to like cut them all up, like just to figure it out, like anything they can do. And so what does Andy decide to do? They find Copley. They they basically threaten Copley's life, and they mount a raid into Merrick's building, and they pretty much go all out. And because her and Niall and Booker can't die, it doesn't fare too well for all of Merrick's guys, and they eventually all get defeated. They save Nikki and Joe, but they end up saving themselves and killing the scientist who was doing all that stuff to them. And
yeah, because they were like, we don't trust your heart or your
yes,
head. You're not
he's
in
like,
it.
no,
You're not
but
in
I
it. You're not
saved
in it
you.
for the science. You're doing this because you want to hurt people. Before we do that though, before we get to that last place, we do find out that the lead character, I'm sorry,
Had a
not
love.
Niall. What is her name?
Andy.
Andy. Well, she's got a long name, but I can never remember. It's
It's a long Grecian
Yeah.
or yeah, it's Androma, it's
But
something. Yeah.
she had
Andromaca.
someone that she cared for. Let me share my screen really quick. And so it was this gentleman right here that was a slave that got traded into. I think he ended up in Australia. She finds him, and she finds him naked. And I can't show the next part because he's really naked, and that's what she.
Yeah, you
that's
did.
what she noticed, and that's what she notices.
It's rated M for mature, right? I think so.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
mature
man,
readers.
There's all kinds of dong in here. So anyway, that's what she notices, and she's like, "Huh, I've not fallen in love for thousands of years." Because she reveals later how old she is.
Yes.
So hey, I didn't reveal it. Spoilers.
Yes, she's
The dude hangs dong. So spoilers.
Oh no, it comes.
But it's hilarious. I find that so funny because she's talking about how she's never been in love. She's been alive for thousands of years. And this dude that she sees naked, like the first time she sees this guy, he's completely naked. And she's just checking out his package, and she's like, yeah, we're gonna have a good life together. She fell in love. He died at an old age, and she didn't get to see him die because that was the sad part, is because he was like, you need to leave. You need to get out of here because people are going to start asking questions why you have an age and I'm dying. Because he realizes, and it's funny because he never asked what her secret was, or anything. He just kind of lived life that way.
Yeah.
And so they went, and she left, and that was the only time that she's really been in love.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, it makes sense why she would guard herself after that.
Yeah, but the final chapter.
Ending
go ahead.
where they Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Okay. Wrap it up because everyone wants me to wrap my summary up. Yeah, so we get to the final part. All of our guys meet together.
I was just saying wrap it up. Like, let's talk about the ending, not wrap it up because you're boring.
No, it's okay.
Do you know
And
what this song that Clark Nado's talking about is? Because I have no idea what that song is.
I know who Doja Cat is. And I love Doja Cat, actually. She did a song on the Birds
No,
of
no,
Prey
no, 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 no.
soundtrack.
Stay focused. Stay focused.
Bitch, I'm a boss. Okay.
I just said stay focused.
Anyways, I am focused. Okay, so in the end, after all is said and done, they end up meeting back up and they kill Merrick, who's hiding out in the bathroom, of course. And then our three original companions, or not Booker, but Joe, Nikki, and Andy, basically decide that Booker, they can't really kill him, right? Because he's still not, able to die, I guess, but he's going to be alone. And at least for a year, I think is what it says. So they go
100,
off with
100
100
years.
years.
She said
100
we'll come
years.
back here 100 years and we can reunite. But until then, you're on timeout because you try to
Yes,
kill us.
exactly. And so they go off with Niall, and that's kind of it. And they leave Booker alone. And that's where it ends. And then it has a little, Old Guard will return kind of at the end there. But of course, that's volume 2, and we don't have that. So
Not yet.
not yet.
So that's where that ends, and we're getting a movie out of this. And the
Yes.
movie has already been casted. It comes out again, Amanda, when?
July 10th on Netflix.
So it looks a little bit different, right? I never thought of her as Andy, like Charlize
Neither did I.
Theron. That when I was looking at when I'm looking at the artwork, Eduardo Rizzo, that style of art, I don't know. She seemed a little thick, like what's her name, Angelina Jolie back in Tomb Raider days, somebody like that. But this is the whole cast right here.
The rest of the cast seems on point. I mean, now I'm gonna mispronounce his name, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I think I mispronounced it, but Clark Nato was asking who he plays. He plays Copley.
Oh,
that
okay.
guy.
So he's the guy that.
Who else could play a bad guy except for him? He's so good at it.
A good guy,
I always
bad
think
guy.
of Firefly or Serenity. I always think of
Serenity, yeah.
Serenity, or Doctor Strange, where he's gonna end up being a bad guy in the next one. So
Right, yeah.
yeah. But before we talk about the movie, let's talk about the book. So, Omar, as an old reader, what did you think?
As an old reader, I have to take this very important call. So give me 1 second.
Wait, what? Omar?
I had to take a call, but
okay, he had to take calls. So I'll tell you guys what I think.
Yo, what did you think?
So I read Lazarus as well, which is also Greg Rucka. So it's very evident that he is quite capable of writing a strong female character, which I really enjoyed. As far as the story itself, obviously this has to be intended for more than just one volume, in my opinion, because there's so much of their mystery that is left unsolved by the end of this first volume. I'm assuming there's going to be more besides even volume 2. I don't know what is in volume 2. So it keeps me interested in finding out more, and I like the action sequences throughout it. What I think is really telling is the way it's drawn, is the action in it.
Sorry
I can
about
really
that.
see. No, you're fine. I can really see it becoming a movie, and I don't even see them having to cut a lot out. Now, obviously, there are some cinematic things they might have to make changes to, but I really could see this as a movie itself. So, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the plot. I mean, it wasn't extremely meaty or anything like that, but I think what made up for it are the characters. Andy is your typical badass female woman with a dark history or backstory or just tragedy in her life, obviously, because she can't die, so she kind of lives a life where she doesn't love, or whatever the case may be. But then you have the really beautiful relationship between Joe and Nikki, which is not super explored in this. There's a little bit of it. Obviously, we get that amazing speech, but I'm assuming we probably will see more of that. And then you have Booker's character, which he also has his own issues, so you get to see that kind of play out here. And then it makes you interested to see what's going to happen in the next set. And then the only one who's kind of, you don't get a lot of is Niall. She's more like that young recruit kind of character. So
She's the character that you
she's
see,
like the
like we
one
see
you're
through her
yeah.
eyes.
We're
Yeah.
we're relating more to her because she's also new with this whole thing and she's never seen this before in her life. So we're basically her. So, she's a fun character, just not, just there for the story to be told, basically. And yeah.
Here's okay. I'll go back to what I thought from Clark. NATO's asking, has anybody checked on Maddie after new Scott Lobdell stuff got out? She, I think most of us have known for a while now about that stuff, and I think honestly that's probably one of the reasons why she's taking off tonight. I don't know, but I'm sure we will talk about that on Saturday probably because that's the latest thing. What's up, Viking in the
Hey, Project
house?
Viking.
For me, I thought the first time I read this, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the concept a lot. I love the artwork, and it's a really fast read. This time around, honestly, it felt the same way. I didn't get anything more out of it. I wish.
Yeah.
How do I mean, I'm used to Greg Rucka just doing these amazing things like Lazarus, right? And it's not fair to compare it to something like that, or Gotham Central, or even Queen and Country. But in this, it seems like his world building just wasn't really all there.
It's a
There's
little
very
slow.
well, and it's kind of just a little stale too. Like you have a badass team of assassins that go
Hmm.
on duties, and we're expected to believe these people. Some of these people have known each other for hundreds of years. Uh, she revealed that she is older than we thought she was. I'll leave that for you all in case you haven't read it. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I just wanted a little bit more. It just there wasn't, like you said. You said it perfectly earlier, that it wasn't really that meaty, right? It
No.
was just
Mm-mm.
it was a good story. There's
Good
nothing
story.
wrong with it,
Yeah.
but maybe I wanted a little bit more. So,
Yes.
but that's pretty much what I really love. The artwork. It was a fun book, easy read. I can't wait for volume 2. Um, what would you rate
Uh,
this book out of 10,
I
Amanda?
think I would give it a 7 out of 10. So, I mean, just because it, I liked some of the places that it could go, but the overall, I was just like, it's a good action story for what it is.
Yeah,
The
I wish they
artwork
had.
was great, though.
It's a little dialogue heavy at times, but it doesn't reveal too much. Um, I think sometimes the artwork, don't get me wrong, is great, but it can get a little confusing when some of the characters start looking
Hmm.
the same and you start getting lost as to who's
Yeah.
who, especially when you use a lot of shadows. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm thinking, yeah, I think it's 6.5.
Six and a
Six,
half.
yeah, 6.5 from me. 6.5. It was still a great read. I highly recommend it. Just wasn't
Yeah.
as great as the other stuff by him.
Like,
And
second time around, is it worth a second read?
I wanted to reread it because I wanted
Well,
to get ready
yeah.
for the second volume and then watch the
And the
TV or the
movie.
movie, right? So
Yeah.
a freaking Lazarus TV show, I can't
I
even
think
talk,
that's
would be
so they
awesome.
it's been in the works for a while. I mean, pretty much a lot of Rucka's properties have been optioned for either movies or TV
Hey, as
shows.
long as he's getting that money, baby, that's all that
It's all that
matters.
matters. But yeah, Lazarus, as far as I know, last I'd heard, because we talked about that.
was Maddie close to Scott Lobdell? Uh,
No.
no, it's just one of her favorite stories is Red Hood and the Outlaws. Uh, like she loves that stuff, and he had been writing the character for like 10 years. So, by the way, there goes any chances of Generation X Omnibus. Anybody read Black Magic is freaking
Yeah.
phenomenal, but you've got the wonderful, talented, beautiful, super amazing Nicola Scott on artwork, and it's so difficult to, compare that to anybody else. Like she is top 20, one of my favorite artists of all time.
Yes. Oh, Canadian Invincible's got his score
My man. So
7.69
yes,
out of 10.
if you have read this,
Yes,
let us
what did
know
everyone
in
else
the
say?
comments. Tenet got delayed
Freddie also,
again. Oh, it's Freddie
yeah,
for
I
him.
did.
Yeah, I saw that. Freddie gave it a 7 out of 10 because the art was lost to him. All right, Freddie, do you like Eduardo Rizzo or Tim Sell? Those kind of artists, just out of curiosity. and Tenet got delayed again. Dang it. I am really looking forward to that. What's the story all mostly set up?
So did
No, no.
Mulan, August.
Jack ain't here tonight. He only watches the movie show, so you don't have to break his heart. No, actually, the story wraps up nicely here and leaves it open for more. It's not really set up, but there's just not a lot of information you get as to why these characters are the way
Yeah.
they are. But we're only talking 5 issues. I mean, he could have this idea, and he wants to make it 100 issues or 50 issues.
Yeah.
Read the book, yeah. Totally, completely worth it. I give Knives Out a 10 out of 10. Awesome, Michael. That was a good movie. I liked it.
Thank you. It was a great movie.
Mulan got delayed because they are getting a dragon.
Yeah, they are not getting a dragon.
Yes, we're getting a dragon. Can little Amanda read? Yeah, she can read. She can read some things. I liked himself, So and Rizzo. She's bored.
You want to go downstairs?
I mean,
Do
we
you
can
need
talk
me to
about
do it for you?
something else. We don't have to talk
Well,
about this.
I'm on this right now. But
Knives Out sequel, Forks in the coming.
okay,
Is that what it's called? Forks
Omar.
Out? Yeah.
Yeah, Forks in.
Forks in? That's a thing?
You hold the chat down. I'm gonna take her downstairs for a
I got
second.
this.
Hold the
I
chat.
got
Okay,
this.
everyone don't bombard him at once.
I got it. Y'all got questions for me? I got answers. What's your questions? Let's see. What do we got? 7 out of 10 it is. Black Magic was a 9.9. What did you give it? I am desperate for more, right? And it's on hiatus, isn't it? Or Nicola Scott just takes a long time to draw, which sucks. By the way, those of you, speaking of Image Comics, that are waiting for East of West Volume 2 reprint, that is now showing up on the Diamond website. It is August. Crap. I just had it. It's sometime. It's coming. It's either in July or August. I know that doesn't help you all with the specific date, but it is coming. I promise. It is now showing up on the Diamond Previews website, so that's good news. That means it is coming finally for again. So there we go. Now I don't know about the Lazarus 2 reprint. I don't have any information on the Volume 3 of East of West yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know, my man. I promise. Happy birthday, Omar. When's that book coming out? Oh, man. I don't know, Freddie. Omar, what's the latest on your haul? Wednesday. That damn thing has been out for, it shipped, no joke. I'm not joking. June 11th. Shipped June 11th. It is June 30th. Still somewhere out there. So, I mean, as long as it's not lost, I'm cool with waiting. Not a big deal. Good thing I don't do overviews as often as I used to, huh? Will more books get delayed since there's another COVID? Oh, God, I forgot about that. Oh, shit. Is there a COVID? Is there another COVID? I haven't even kept up. Is there a COVID surge in China? Because if there's a COVID surge in China, then yes, all books will be delayed again. I can't imagine them going to another printer. Take care, brother. Thank you for joining us. The Hall to save them all. That's right, brother. Let's see.
Sorry.
No, you're good. She okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay. Man, I hope there's more to come after that. So tomorrow, yeah, we're going to be talking about Superman 4. We're going to watch it.
We are. I guess that's what you all wanted us to see.
I am not kidding you. I saw that. The last time I saw that movie was 1987 in a drive-in theater. That's the last time I saw. I have the Superman collection. It hurts to watch that movie. It was so bad. Dude, we don't want to go the Quad Pro. Like, those books are ass. No, I'd rather the books be delayed. You're right, Hayden. Let me adjust. Happy birthday, Omar. Tell me, David, we need to that other book made for reasons. You got it, buddy. Lady Killer looks so good. Makes me want to bake in the kitchen and murder.
Me too, Shonda Suk.
Dude, it is so good. It is so good. It's a quick read. It was freaking awesome. Thank you for making me feel alive and old, Clarknado. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Haven't had that experience. Shut up. I don't need to hear how old you were. I could have been 2-2 sitting in the
Choo
back of
choo.
somebody's car.
Yep. At
Amanda's
87.
back.
Yep.
Stop that.
Stop bad mouthing Tom Holland,
You think
guys.
I don't bad mouth Tom
He
Holland in
does it
front of
to my
her?
face all the time.
I was little when I saw Superman 4. Was the villain a real DC? No. The villain,
I
I
thought
was going
so
to
once
wait
that
to
they
talk
put it
about
in
this tomorrow.
Bendis,
The
didn't
villain
he?
was Christopher Reeve fighting. Pretty much it was his idea to make it a nuclear man because he wanted to fight that, like the environment. He wanted to save the environment. Yikes. I did. Bruce, I did ask about Spider-Geddon. I haven't got an answer yet. That could be him. Nope, not him. So no answer yet, but I did ask him. I promise you I did. It's a mess up there in New York right now. And I don't know.
It's a mess everywhere right now.
Yeah, no kidding. So everybody, I hope y'all are staying healthy and safe out there because
Yep.
it's a weird time. At least here in the United States, it's weird
Yeah.
when you I don't even know if it's
Other
split down the
countries
middle.
issue a travel ban. No Americans could come to their countries.
Well, it's just a weird time when you go to the grocery store and some of the people are wearing masks, others are not, right? And it's just crazy. Like I just went today, and I'm like, and I have to wear a mask because I'm just doing it for everybody else's sake.
That's why you wear
It's
shoes. You wear your shoes and your shirt because no one wants to see that.
everybody wants to see this, okay? Everybody.
It's
Uh,
because you would advantage his social distance. Yes, that is true. But I do. Sean Suk wants to know: Do you really want to? Oh yeah, you've heard how to drive, but he wants to know what my skincare routine is. And
Interesting question. I don't think I've ever been
it is.
asked
I
that
am
on this.
shining. I think it's just my ring light, but it's probably also my moisturizer to
She's got a.
demoisturize
Let me tell
mineral.
you what's going on right now. You see this? This is real, right? Ain't no
Wait,
damn
you
ring
see
light
this?
over. Look
There's
at that.
no.
You see
Oh, well,
that?
yeah.
She's got a filter on right now. It's called the youth filter.
The
Y'all
filter.
should see pictures of Amanda without that shit on.
Oh,
You know what? I'm
whatever.
gonna take pictures of Amanda she's not taking. Anyway, what was I saying? Where was I? Yeah, this whole
Talking about
country.
the mask. Yeah, my husband actually has tested positive for COVID, so he is now on quarantine per the military. So he was supposed to come home and visit us in July, but that is not happening. So when people say COVID is not real, it's real, guys, and people's lives get affected. Thankfully, he's not uber sick, or else it would be a different story.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does. But Old Guard, the movie, huh?
Right? We got a movie coming out. Please do a video about Buffy the Vampire Slayer comics. How about I let Maddie do that one? That's her
That's
baby.
her baby.
So I will let her do that. If you want an X-Men X Factor comic thing, that's me. But as far as like Buffy and Angel, Maddie said she was going to help me out with that.
Yes.
Omar's raw and beautiful. Thank you so much.
No
Amanda's
way.
stunning good
This
looks
is
for
not
CGI. Hey,
CGI.
Michael, I didn't want to come out and just say it, but I'm going to come out and just say it. You're right.
I like
Amanda, I hope you're doing well. Nocturne, how's it going?
Hey Nocturne, I am doing well. I had to go back to work on Monday and it's the weirdest thing in the world because as soon as our governor said you could gather in less than 50 and
That's messed up.
office-based businesses could go back to work at 100% capacity, our CEO is like, go back to work. But we have to have temperature checks in the morning. We have to basically be in our cube all day if you don't want to wear a mask. And then if you have to wear a mask, or if you want to go out like to the, one person at a time in the bathroom, which is nice because you get your own bathroom for a while, in the kitchen to sanitize everything when you're done. And then if you want to meet, you can only have so many people. But other than that, we're still highly suggested to meet via Zoom or Teams. To which all of
you
us
could
say,
do at
which
home.
we could have done at home. And I would have saved myself gas money.
What's the point? Like, it is so ridiculous. Look at all these comments. Mine, I got the
What the
ScarJo
heck?
CGI Asian
What?
filter.
What did you just
Amanda's
say?
CG enhance. By the way, guys, I'm kidding. She is just as beautiful
Oh,
in real.
Freddie. That's rough, buddy. That is what Zuko said. We talked to Sokka
I
about
was
it.
just complimenting you.
But
That
yes,
she
thank you
is
for the
just
compliment.
as beautiful in real life as
I
she is
am.
in those, I don't know, Instagram pictures or whatever.
I don't use a lot of filters on Instagram.
I'm just kidding. I don't even know if you use
Oh, okay.
filters.
Uh,
Was was that the first time you read Umbrella Academy?
when?
On Old Reader, New Reader? I think it was the first
For
time
me,
Maddie
yes.
and Amanda read it. I did. I that was my second read too.
I don't know why it took me so long. I love Michael Romance, which was the whole discussion that we had.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm like, are we going to review the book or are we going to review My Chemical Romance? Which
I
is
know.
cool. We have two
Which
natural beauties on screen.
are you talking about, Zuko?
Get that shit out of there.
Even with his scar, he's still attractive. My favorite animated character. Okay.
Was he in the movie?
Yeah, it was Dev Patel, which I love that actor. So it was such a shame. I was like, oh, I love Dev Patel, and because he's in Slumdog
I
Millionaire.
like that. Omar inspired Beyonce to
Oh
write Flawless.
no.
Yes.
Okay, let's not give him a bigger head than he already has,
I
guys.
do not. Prayers for
Prayers for
Mr.
Mr. Romance. Thank you.
Honestly,
He's
I could actually see her call him that from now on.
yeah.
Oh, here's a good question. Ali or Kumiko? I'm gonna go with Kumiko. So Omar is an old guard pretending to be 42. Amanda is CGI secrets
Yep.
pouring out
Basically,
tonight.
that's exactly what's happened.
We don't speak of the Avatar movie,
Yes,
and
I don't
he's
even know
yelling
why he would bring it up.
because I know your kryptonite. It's the
It's M.
Avatar,
Night Shyamalan.
Mike Shyamalan's Avatar movie. There's
Ugh.
very few things that gets under your skin that I can
So
talk
true.
about here. That I can talk about here.
And that's one of them.
That is definitely one of them. Sorry to
All
hear about
right.
your husband, Amanda. Looking great as
Thank you.
always, though.
Thank you, Luis. I appreciate that. Yes. Don't let that get me down. Still keep it on my
She does.
skincare
She's got her
regimen.
skincare down. Oh, damn. All
Okay.
right.
Sorry, I can't even straighten this finger right now because I stubbed it at CrossFit. Okay.
Oh,
and it is like,
who's
look at
got
that
their
thing.
bingo cards
Look
out?
at that.
CrossFit, Tom Holland, M. Night Shyamalan.
Swell it up.
How did you stub it?
I was doing this reach through thing where you go like down. You're on your knees and you like go down and then you reach up. And I think I kind of like fell into it and like, yeah.
So you're off for a while, huh?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you should.
I know, but I could just hold everything like this.
Yeah,
and
you
just
do
leave
that and
my
hurt your
middle
toe
finger.
next. Here in Portugal, the borders are open today. Masks are mandatory, and some cities you can only leave to go to work. Crazy times, but we all have to be patient and
So
responsible.
much.
COVID is very much real. That is true. Here in America, it's kind of. I think you're allowed to do whatever it is that the stores that are privately owned want you to do. So if they want you to put a mask on, you have to put a mask on.
Yes.
But if you go somewhere that doesn't have a sign, you're free to walk in without a.
Or they might just say we recommend, but they don't make it mandatory.
Yep. You get that bingo, Chandasuk? You got that bingo going?
Yeah. And luckily that guy left and sold his company to someone else, so that was a good thing.
Oh, okay, you meant that.
Yes.
Omar and Amanda, what did you guys get Maddie
Good
for her
question.
birthday? It's a surprise, man. I got her a picture from Matthew Mangy.
She could be watching this.
I hope to see her sometime. We're gonna try to do a little party where we're 10 feet apart because she really can't get out. Like she doesn't want to. So I understand.
Yeah.
Should we start a jar that Amanda has to put $1 in every time she mentions Tom Holland?
We could fund that channel.
Yep. CrossFit, Tom Holland, and what's the other thing you always mention? I just mentioned it earlier.
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings. Something else. We'll start an Amanda bingo.
Bingo?
Yeah. Get her a pony. No.
Where would she put it? I don't know if you've
Where
been to
am I
her
gonna
house.
buy
There's nowhere
a
to put
pony?
that
Do a review of Lady in the Water.
We should do an M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, that was a quick old reader, new reader.
Yeah, no, it just
5 issues, man. 5 issues.
Yeah,
I don't
5
know
issues. We can talk about the movie though, because the movie's it's coming out July 10th.
My boy Brian Blue Thunder's
Fall
got
Boy.
it. Fall Out Boy.
Thank you,
Lord of the
Ryan.
Rings,
Oh,
Tom
you guys
Holland.
know me so well.
CrossFit.
I love it.
We should
Makes me
take shots.
so
We would be
happy.
so drunk, guys, if we did that.
Yes.
Omar, that picture is not from you. It's from Matthew. Damn it. You're right, Lionheart. I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't do that. Get Genuine to perform. Tony!
Oh,
Now we're
I
talking.
now we're talking.
Does
Can
Maddie like
Channing
Genuine?
Tatum be there doing his dance for Magic Mike while Pony's playing and Genuine singing?
No.
Well, then that's it.
Amanda is such a millennial.
I am. Yes, I am a huge millennial. There's some really funny memes. Apparently, the Gen Zers have been bagging on
I
millennials, which is
I have
so
a
funny because
question.
I'm like, you guys go ahead.
I have a
It's
serious
fine.
question
It's all
right
that's
now.
true. They're like millennials. Um, millennials base their personalities off of which Harry Potter house they're in. Grow up and do coke already. That's all that. I was like, what?
What is a Generation Z? Where does that come
People
in?
younger than us. I think Maddie's the cutoff on millennials, maybe.
Millennials,
And then
Generation
it's
Z.
I think it's like the kids who might be like either like 21 and younger now or something like that. So
You ever cut the cheese and it sounds like you're deflating a car tire?
yes.
I mean, yes. Who hasn't, right? All right. So let's see. What's Omar's kryptonite? I almost spilled the beans on that one. A lot. Tequila. Oh Lord, you can't get that on tequila. Omar, what was your first read from Dark Horse? Interesting. That's a good question. I bet it was a Hellboy comic, probably. Hellboy. Blade of the Immortal, one of those, either one of those two. Every generation hate each other and blame others.
Yeah, but I'm
Is
not
that
even gonna
true
hate it.
though? I don't hate Generation Z or millennials or
I might
baby
hate the
boomers.
boomers a little bit. Okay. I might dislike them a little bit, but
Okay, so my boy Roberto Rodriguez.
2000.
I
Okay.
love your name because I can roll the R's all the way.
So then,
Up
they'd be like 20.
to
Okay, they'd be like,
after
yeah,
2000. So then it might be Maddie. No, Maddie's a cutoff because she was 96, I think.
yeah.
Brain games. If pooping was your superpower, would you use it for good or evil? Evil. I have long ago
Evil.
determined that I would not be a good guy. This is
Yeah.
because I think 16-year-olds are Generation C. All right. Amanda, what was your first comic and did Omar force you? I love that question.
What counts as a
Force
okay?
you to
So
read it.
no, I would say the first comic I ever read um, was actually Alison Bechdel's Fun Home, which is more like a graphic novel, but that was in college, and I didn't even know Omar back then. So
No, we didn't.
no.
I was in high school when she was in college, so there's no way she would have known me.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate younger generations, but I was in the military for 20 years. To be fair, Clark
Thank you
Nato
for your
says it.
service.
My generation hates themselves the most. That is probably true. You guys are really
Yeah.
hard on themselves. Generation Z screwed. I am Gen X, man. That was me. Like we're caught in this weird generation of between two almost opposing forces. So we're
Yes.
kind of chill. Most of us are kind of chill, trying to do the right
Most
thing.
of you.
Most of us, not all of us, right? Okay, so here's a question.
I don't know what this has turned into, Nocturne.
What was the first comic Omar highly suggested to Amanda? A lot. And it wasn't Black
A
Phoenix
lot.
or the Dark Phoenix saga.
It
Why
was
is it
not
Black
actually that.
Phoenix? It was some
Black Phoenix.
Black Phoenix saga. I got that mixed up with the Black Sun saga, which is part of the
No,
Guardians
I
of the
mean,
Galaxy.
basically, he brought over a thumb drive of comics and just said, I'm going to put this on there and this on there, and you got to read this and this on there, and you got to read this. You definitely have to do this. That's basically how it went. So I couldn't even tell you the first one.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I told her she's got to read this. I didn't force her to read it, but I strongly suggested
Yes.
she needed to if she wanted to hang out. So, Omar, you would be a Sith and not a Jedi. Come on, man. When you play, KOTOR, it's more fun to go the dark route, right? Like the dark route, it always has more fun. The good guys, yeah, it's cool. But getting there, man, the bad dudes just have all the fun. I don't hate boomers, but I'm also not a fan. Same, Philip. I'm Generation Agricultural Revolution. That's interesting. I don't know where that is. Hi, guys. Have you guys ever
Ah,
been really interested in making your own American comic book? Love you guys as always. Thank you, Sam. And
thank you, Sam.
yes, I totally 100% have.
He has.
I have been
Me,
wanting
I'm a
to.
novel.
I have been wanting to, and Amanda has been wanting to write a novel. So we both are pretty creative. It's just that finding the time to do it. Congratulations, Clark Nato paid off his mortgage today in Animal Crossing. Evil will.
Congratulations! I want to pay off my mortgage too, in both
He's
real life
paying in
and fictionally.
turnips. It's
Ugh.
going in turnips.
I really need to play that game so I can meet Elijah Wood.
You're gonna be so let down. Evil always
I
triumphs
guess
because
I will.
good is dumb. That's a great Spaceballs quote. I'm light side on KOTOR myself. Hey, Amanda and Omar, have you read Tank Girl? And if you have, are the color reprints good, or should I get the original black and whites? I have not read the color reprints. I've read some of the original black and white ones. That's the way I remember. Did you ever watch the movie with Lori Petty?
I've seen the I've seen the movie, but I have never read the comics. So, but I know it's one of those that I'm like, I should read that.
You should. You should. It's pretty fun. They have the best stuff, Tank Girl. Omar, did you get Berserk Volume 5? I ordered it. Who knows when it'll get here, but I did order it, and I can't wait to have it in my hands. I have an idea for a comic book. It's called Z, The Real Last Man Standing. I don't know what that other guy was talking about. You know about why? Why? Elijah Wood, another name for the Amanda drinking game. That's tied into her Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah, but yeah, usually those two go hand in hand.
Amanda, if you cut down your fence and pool people expenses, you can chip
You're
away
so
at more.
right. I could. One day I'm gonna take a picture of Omar in my pool so y'all could just say. No, I don't think I've read. Leo's asking if we've read Broxo.
I have not read
I've
Broxo.
not.
I have not read Broxo. My wife just nicknamed me the completest when she saw my expanding collection of Omnis. Good for you, man.
That's good.
That's good, man. That's what's up. So I have a question. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, the fighting fantasy books were popular here in Europe. Do you know the series? Basically an RPG in book form. Fighting fantasy? No.
Fighting fantasy.
I just know that's
info.
what there was a YouTube series called Fighting Fantasy, and it was pretty much dead or alive characters with Final Fantasy characters fighting each other. And that guy that did those went on to do the Ruby series, and that got a whole series. And I think he ended up passing away. It's pronounced Zed, not Z. It's Canadian comic. Okay, my bad, dude. I didn't see that.
Thank you, Michael, for pointing that out.
Yep.
But that's true because the Z is Zed.
Zed.
Yeah,
Do we know the Akira box set's still set for reprint? I thought it was July 31st release, but now the date seems missing. Oh, don't say that. It is still coming. We just don't have a date yet. Omar, I suddenly can't find X-Men versus Apocalypse at 12. I hope it's just out of stock and not out of print. Me too. Holy crap. Although I think on Saturday I was asked which ones people should, or somebody asked me what X-Men related omnibus they should buy before it goes out of print. I mentioned New X-Men, and I threw in Apocalypse at 12 in there, but I think both of those are just out of stock. I don't think they're out of print yet. Hey, chat guys, what does saga basically mean in American comics? Amanda, you're the English major. What is a saga?
A saga is a very long tale. That's what.
There you have it.
That's like the Ring saga but also in what's his name's orchestration that one could say was that. Don't get.
What do you say? You're the English major. I handed it to you.
It's a very long tail. I don't know.
Okay, like Nightcrawler. Like Nightcrawler. Got it.
Nightcrawler.
Ooh, look at Hayden. Was it really that good? Dark Knight. Spoiler alert. It's not. What a statement to make.
Yes, what a
So,
staple.
Sam, I hope she was able to answer your question. It's a long tail.
A long tale of a journey, I would say. Maybe that would be more accurate because
Okay.
they used to like you have like the Vinland Saga, for example, which is like that.
Well, you have Saga, and I assume her daughter accidentally booted her off, and she'll be back on. So until then, you've guys just got me to deal with. Dude, if an earthquake hits, you're screwed or a fire. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I'm pretty sure even if I'm not here, if there's a fire in my house, I'm screwed or an earthquake. By the way, from Peru, so we dealt with plenty of earthquakes. These books, these omnis aren't going anywhere. There she is. Yeah. Blame it on your daughter.
No, it was my fault.
Uh,
I was playing with the mic.
There's a description of Saga. Amanda summaries
Oh,
their
you're
sagas.
right.
Their sagas. Amanda, what is your favorite Studio Ghibli film?
I really liked Princess Mononoke. Is that a?
What's the yeah? It was the fence people.
It was a. Michael
Uh,
is trying to
yeah,
antagonize me.
Michael's filling in Jack's shoes tonight.
Yes.
Jack must be off. He must be grounded or something from the internet tonight.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You said he was 16, so I assume
He
he's
did
grounded.
say he was 16. Oh, guys. Being back at work for 2 days, it's already making me tired.
I know. This is
You
not
had
gonna.
Didn't we have this conversation about this before?
We did. So this is a good question, though. Robert is asking, do I have special insurance for my collection? And I'm one of those people that has thought about it, but I just don't. Like, even though I realize there's a lot of money here, and to me, I've always hated the idea of insurance, right? It's ridiculous. You're paying for something like I'm gonna quote Chris Rock. You're paying for something just in case shit happens. And if shit don't happen, it's not like you get your money back, right? So I I know one thing, if they're like Brain Games was saying earlier, if there's a fire or whatever, and I lose this stuff, I can't. There's no way that I can replace some of these things. So that's it for this guy. May still have a YouTube channel called No Good Condition because there's nothing left, but I don't know. I was going to order X-Men the 12 Omnibus. I hope you can still find it. Like I said, I think right now it's just out of stock, not out of print. Amanda, do you collect anything?
Yeah. I mean, I collect my own set of comics. I collect
Mhm.
different novel series, things like that I'm really into, like the Mortal Instruments, Harry Potter. I collect a lot of memorabilia from different um fandoms that I'm into. Artwork is something I've ever since we started going to conventions, ever since C2E2, I've started getting into comic artists and getting up on my wall. So I have quite a bit of that in my bedroom. And my husband bought me a couple pieces for my birth or for Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
So I collect that stuff. I used to collect movies, but then I got rid of a lot of my DVDs and I do everything digital. And so I don't do that anymore because space saving
It
is a
is.
big
It is.
thing for me.
I I haven't learned that lesson yet. I don't know
Yeah,
what space saving is.
I'm like Marie Kondo really spoke to me about the whole minimalist thing because I just don't like clutter, and so everything needs a proper place.
Mhm.
Oh, but
I've got.
Hayden's so right. I do collect Horcruxes because that is the true secret to my eternal youth. I will forever be young
Is that a J.K. Rowling
with
thing?
only a little bit of a soul. That's all.
Is that is that a J.K. Rowling thing? I don't know
Yes,
about.
that's what Voldemort was
Ah,
collecting to become immortal. Yeah.
Phil Owens. I bought my first omnibus yesterday. I'm catching up with you, Omar. Good for you,
Congratulations,
man.
Phil.
Congratulations, brother. Um, I like how Melanie says she would help you to collect again if something happened. Yeah, she's sweet like that. Like she said, we could rebuild it. I don't know, man. I think I have thought about that for years, for decades now. Like if something happens, I'm out. I have to be. There's no way. There are pieces in my collection that are literally one of a kind. There are pieces in my collection that I can't show here because of legal
Yeah.
issues. I don't know. Maybe on Patreon. I don't know. But there are things that I own that are literally, five of a kind made or something like that, and you can't get that back. And honestly, I'll collect something in some kind of way.
There you go.
Tell us more. I
Tell
can't.
us.
I don't have Dan with me. He's the smart one. I'll get destroyed. My channel will be taken down. Omar's Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 is Amanda's Horcrux because she
It
knows she
is.
won't let it be destroyed.
There's a couple of things it's a couple of pieces of my soul I'm probably hiding in Omar's basement.
What? Is that what a Horcrux is? Is that how you, did I,
Yes.
is that how you say it?
Hair. Yes, it was hair. It was Voldemort's diary was a Horcrux. The ring, the whatever ring, can't think of his name. Voldemort's ring,
The Ring of Power?
the Riddle ring. That was a Horcrux. Harry was a Horcrux. Spoilers.
Amanda's rooms
My
were
room is
super
not
necessary.
that exciting, guys. I could show it to you in 2 seconds. I mean, I need to get more bookshelves. But
Amanda's gunsuit was a Horcrux.
never get rid of it. That's true.
We actually now we can make a fun episode of Amanda just showing off her books.
Yeah, it could. It could be. Yeah.
Cop is to Transformers what Omar is to Omni. Really, Cop? You won't even give me Hot Rod? All right, Cop. Yeah. This
My
reminds me
fence
of the
is
time that this omnibus was. Yeah.
Yes.
So somebody said it earlier,
What
but
was
yes,
it?
please don't forget to hit that like button.
Yes, thank
Louise.
you, Louise. Hold on, Leo. My movie I'm watching today is Leap. It stars Elle Fanning and Dane DeHaan. Are you referring to the animated, like, Irish movie, the dancing one? Because I've seen that before. That's why I was just trying to figure out if that's what you were talking about. He's got it.
Where's the questions from the katanas coming from?
Oh, he wants to know
Omar
if
looks
it's a
against
Horcrux.
Oh, katana. It's Japanese for sword. Anybody know where that line's from? Oh, I love that crappy movie. The Near Mint Condition channel is Horcrux. She's embedded in the channel. We can never escape her.
It's like that Unfriended. I'm like, it'll be a really bad
Omar, do you think
movie if I die?
Revolution crossovers will be collected in the trans? I don't think so. I think just like they did with what was the zombie one called? The zombie crossover, they'll just include the Transformers parts. Because they've already had a Revolution hardcover, right? Is there a love button? My feelings are so much stronger than like. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
There is. It's called my PayPal. I'll give you the details later.
It's called our Patreon.
Or Patreon. There
For little as $1 a month, you too can support our channel as we grow and become.
You got to show your child now, since you're doing for a little. It's $1 a month. You can
for a little
bit, child.
Look at the camera, Lyndon. Give him your sad face.
Tell him you're hungry. Tell him you're.
Oh, she's so good.
You have got her trained so well.
No. No one's laughing.
Now she thought we were laughing at her. Y'all made that kid cry. She's got her trained well, man. Hey, let me tell you something about Amanda, though. She can make tears happen like that, too. So that little kid has a master she's training with. You guys are terrible. We don't accept loonies. We accept Mickey dollars. What are they called? Disney bucks?
I'll accept Disney bucks all day long.
Except we ain't going to Disney until 2021. That's for sure.
Yeah.
David Gabriel is a Horcrux. That's why he hides from us. Oh man, that dude he is buried in work. I'll donate if it just goes to Amanda. Sure, mushroom. Sure. Don't give me any. She made me cross. Thanks, man. Oh, that's Canadian dollars,
Yeah,
man. Look at that.
thank
Thank you so
you.
much, Devon. Do I have to watch the Watchmen comics in the logical order or not necessary? If so, what's one great place to start that you can recommend? The Watchmen comics, just read Watchmen, all 12 issues, and definitely it is in chronological order. So available in absolute trade paperback, available in many editions. Yeah, read them and then watch the TV show. It's wonderful. It's a good question. Why do Marvel and DC put volume numbers on omnis and reprints, even though they know they'll never make multiple volumes? Because there's always a chance. There's always a chance, Justin. That's why. So when I see a Wolverine Volume 1, I'm like, man, that thing's getting lonely. We need a Volume 2. If both of you would become stranded on a desert island, she would die first. I don't even know what the rest of the question is first. Oh, what book would you like to read? I was like, she'd be the first one dead.
Are we talking about a comic book or are we talking about like a novel?
A comic book, I'd take my Uncanny X-Men Volume 3. A novel, I would take my Pride Day Chronicles. Love those books.
I would take Harry Potter probably, or the Mortal Instruments series. I could reread that. Or I might take the Hamilton biography because I still haven't finished it, buddy. And I'll have nothing but time on that desert island.
Because all we're going to do is like record fake shows that
Yes.
nobody's going to
And I'll
watch.
just be reading all about Alexander Hamilton.
And then I'm going to have to hear about the shit that I'm like, oh yeah? Well, you want to know what happened to Kitty and Colossus?
That would be the worst.
That would be the worst. Oh, we so should have had that clip of Arms of an Angel song. Or is that for... I think that's for animals.
Yeah, it's for the
right?
animals.
Yeah.
But it still works very well.
It's a movie. Yeah, Samurai Cop. You got it. That's right. Katana. It's Japanese for sword. Oh, that movie's so awesome. We should review that one day.
We should do that.
Oh, look at that from Lionheart, $2.
Gummy bears for little Amanda.
I just want to know, if I start crying on screen, am I going to get some super chat love? Probably not.
No. Wow. So we were going to talk about the movie, but I guess we kind of...
yeah, we kind of ran out of time.
Yeah, we kind of ran out of time. I mean, but, you know, we can review it, and we'll talk about it more then.
Yeah. We will be back tomorrow for Was It Really That Bad?, where we're going to be apparently talking about Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Quest for Peace.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, so I guess we'll see what we think of it this time around. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Amanda?
Oh, my turn. All right. So thank you guys for bearing with me through this stream. It got really crazy. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at @NearMintCon. Check out our Patreon, like I mentioned before, if you haven't already and you want to support our awesome, amazing channel. And check out Redbubble too if you want some Near Mint condition merchandise. And remember, everyone, if it is classy and cool, it must be near mint. Have a good night. Stay safe. We love you.
Love you all. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Freddie, a parent. How about an older brother? Parent?
Can you give him a